What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I am going to be talking a little bit about money. It's not necessarily something that people really like talking about, but I have found from my experience that it's something that a lot of people like listening to, getting advice about, and so on and so forth. So in this video I'm going to be addressing some of the financial issues I have had in the past and how I have looked at money within the last year or so in order to improve my financial stability, and really I'm going to use an example from recently. I mean, the title of the video probably says it all. I've recently had quite an expensive payout on my car, and just, you know, if you are in a position where all of a sudden you've had quite an expensive payout, how you can manage it and how you can preempt it so for future events. So stick around for this video and I'm going to go over some of my top tips and hopefully I can answer some of your questions. So let's get into the video. So first and foremost, the issue that I have had with my car, it's not really an issue as such, but basically within the last month, I've probably spent about £1,000 on my car. Now, that might seem like a lot, but what I do with my car is I tend to buy everything for the entire year. So for things like the tax, the insurance, all that kind of stuff, rather than paying in monthly installments, I like to do sort of pay it in one big cost. For me, it's because then I don't have to worry about it. It's not a reoccurring monthly cost that I have to worry about. But also, if you look at the cost throughout the year, paying monthly tends to be a little bit more expensive, and I'm all about saving money. So basically, I've had quite a lot of payments in this period in order to be able to sort of keep my car on the road, which is important for me because I use my car a lot. Now, the reason this is important, obviously I know that this was going to happen. I know that I was going to have to spend a certain amount of money on my car. And for those of you who have watched my video of me smashing my big money jar, if you haven't, I will link it down in the description. I was basically going to be using all the money in that pot to pay for my car. However, and if you watch the video, you would know, I only got about £700 out of that pot, which for the average year would have covered all of my car costs. But unfortunately, a few weeks ago, my car broke down on me, so that cost me sort of £200. And then over the last week, when I've had my car sort of the MOT done and the servicing done and all that, I needed to pay out an additional like £300 or £400 to get the cam belt replaced and the water pump replaced and all these costs that I wasn't expecting or wasn't hoping to have to pay for. And so that £700 has been stretched too far. And obviously I then needed to find other finances in order to cover the extra. So yeah, been a bit of a pickle. Does this mean I am broke and I have no money? No, it does not. Although for the average sort of postgraduate student, it probably is quite a lot of money to have to spend all at once. The reason it's not is for, well, there's one main reason, and that is because since finishing university, I know I'm now back, but since finishing my undergraduate degree, moving out of my parents' house and having my own flat, my own property to have to look after and pay for, I came to realise the importance of having extra there in case you need it. So if you've got this far, you may be thinking to yourself, well, why do you care? Why do I care? Why do I care that Alex has had to spend a lot of money on his car? You may not even have a car. You may not even like live in your own apartment or own flat, or you might not have a mortgage. Why should it matter to you? Now, I was a bit like this, like I say, a couple of years ago when I was at uni, I was a little bit like this. Why should I need to worry about that? But you should never just think about what you can see, the financial payouts that you can see. Because in my case, like I say, with my car, and the reason I've used it as an example is because I wasn't expecting my car to break down 2 weeks ago and have to pay out an extra load of money for it. And if that hadn't have happened, then actually I would have been in a much better position this week and I wouldn't have had half as much money to pay for. And so I've come to realise now, especially since moving away from my parents' home, having my own flat, that there are unexpected financial costs that come up every year. They might be small, they might be big. And if you are ever in a position where that you don't have anyone else to rely on financially, or you don't have that extra support from people like your parents, you're going to have to sort it out for yourself. I know this seems like it's probably a bit of a lecture, and to be honest it is, because I have been lectured millions of times by my parents, and every single time it was painful for me to have to listen to. But the message sank in, and actually I feel like it sank in because I came to realise these things myself. And I got to a point where I was like, hang on, I'm now 25, and I want to make sure that within the next 5 years that I am financially stable enough to be able to, you know, look at getting a new car, or look at potentially sort of trying to find a mortgage and get a house of my own rather than just having a flat. And so having that financial stability there is obviously really important. So you might be also watching this video and think, well, I don't get paid that much. Okay, I'm a student. Okay, I don't get paid much at all. I have never really been paid that much. In my previous job, I didn't have that great an income, and it may well be the case in the future. The point isn't that you're getting paid lots. In fact, I've found that I've cared more for my money when I've had to budget it more. When I have less money, I'm more likely to be careful of the money that I do have. What you need to start thinking about is how can you be smart with the money that you've got? Okay, because if you have this throwaway income and you go and you buy loads of things and you don't care about where your money ends up, you're never really going to be able to save it properly. It's about what you have and what you will be getting that's important. So making sure you're aware of how much money you need to spend on your bills, or your monthly costs, your weekly costs, and then always looking at the money that you've got after that point and then splitting it up. Okay, how much can you save onto each month? How much can you then use, or how much are you willing to then use for social events and other things? And then it's only then that you start to build up this small pot of money on the side. And obviously if you earn more and you're prepared to put more money in it a month, that's going to grow quicker. However, as long as you don't start pulling it out and taking money from it to use on events that are really irrelevant, that will start to grow. And that's what's important. Okay guys, so I am going to wrap this video up. I am very aware that talking about money, especially when it comes to saving money and making sure that you have that financial stability, and actually not glorifying money, because a lot of people glorify it. You see loads of people putting out videos, oh, I bought my brand new Mercedes or what have you, and the reality is that most people can't afford that or aren't in a position to get that. Now that doesn't mean to say that you can't be in that position. I believe, and I'm a strong believer, that when you've got your mindset on things and you do things sensibly, you can afford those luxury items. But you have to put the hard work in, and you have to think and be smart about these decisions. Work with your strengths rather than worrying about what you don't have and about worrying about your weaknesses. Work on your strengths. Anyway guys, I am going to wrap this video up here. Now I do have an exciting video coming out probably after this one. This weekend, it is currently Friday, so as of tomorrow and Sunday, I am going to the Jiu-Jitsu National Competition. It is in Northampton. Very exciting. I'm taking a few members of my club down, and I'm going to do like a bit of a vlog across the whole weekend, showing you some of the competition. Hopefully, if I can get some of my students to record me, some of my competitions, I will try and record them. But I'll be doing judging and various other bits throughout the weekend too. The social event that we get up to, I think we've got a pub crawl planned or something, and just the weekend as a whole. So that will be coming up next. So although this video was quite money orientated and potentially quite boring, whatever, the next one should be quite exciting, fun-filled, and show you a little bit about what I do. Right, I'm going to wrap the video up now. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something or taken something away from it. The reason I've posted this video is because I feel like it was useful for me to start saving money, and, you know, I know the feeling when you have to pay for something and you really can't afford it, how horrible that is, and I don't want you guys to feel that way. So, as I said guys, I'm going to wrap the video up here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you have anything that you want to talk about, be it financial or about Jiu-Jitsu. I know I've just mentioned I'm going away for the weekend. Click the like button if you like this video. Don't worry about disliking it if you don't. And if you want any more content and you want updates, subscribe, all that good stuff. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. Bye.